Okay, so we are 4 bars into the magician line. We have done Jane. We have done Dean Fogg. We have done Alice. We have done Penny. And today we are working on, a very important character in the magician's line, I guess, but also one of my least favorites. And I'm going to tell you who we're doing today and why she's one of my least favorites in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things. And you are here for day 33 of 365 days of soap, part 2. And today we are doing Julia. So Julia, again, as I said, she's a very important character within the magician's, storyline, for sure. I don't like her, though. I find her to be very problematic. And so that one's definitely a hard one for me because, again, she's very important and has a lot of really important moments that essentially saves lots of things in lots of ways. But I don't know. She's a very interesting character. Now, I have been going through like the D&D like alignment chart throughout all of these magicians soaps in the actual like pouring of the video because I do find it very fascinating, kind of putting all of the different magicians characters into their D&D alignment, which I love because I'm a geek. And there's that. So I'll definitely be doing this with Julia today as well. We will be continuing on with our Cierra candles tests, and this particular scent is, I don't remember. I'll definitely talk about it and show it to you in the video for sure, but all of the scents were very thoughtfully selected for each individual character within the magician's line. Obviously, that's all part of building a theme and it's very fun. I also wanted to play around with Julia's whole duality within these bars, and so like the kind of yin and the yang and the dark and the light and everything that sort of makes Julia, yes. So I'm going to stop talking about this here and we are going to, go to the video and chit chat all things magicians and geekdom and awesomeness. So Julia is a very interesting character. We haven't been talking about all the things that go into the thing, so everything that we haven't been talking about with the theme stuff, yes, there's still clay soaps. We are always putting that in. Absolutely. Now, the particular scent blend that we're using for this is Cerulean Skies and Pine. And this will be a slab pour, and these little tree guys, which I made out of melt and pour, will go on the top. Now, I did this because I really wanted to, it's a tree because it has to be a tree because Julia is like Our Lady of the Tree or some shit. Cool. Anyway, the colors that I'm using with the greens and all the jazz, as well as the scent, is really dialing in that whole tree thing. And also Julia wears a lot of green. And I actually, so not emulsified. You see how it's separating there at the stick? Yep. Keep going. We do not have an emulsion yet. But yeah, actually,
when this series was like really in its heyday or whatever, I loved the clothing of all of the characters so much that I have like a Julia wardrobe just because I like the way she dressed. I have a librarian wardrobe. I have an Alice wardrobe. Like, it became a whole ass thing. And Mr. Soap and Clay was like, don't you have enough clothes? And I collect clothes like other people collect, like, CDs or something. Nobody collects CDs anymore. But you know what I mean. It's a collection. Anyway, the Julia bar is very difficult for me because I don't like her. Like, if I analyze her just in a high level, I guess she's a very important and necessary character. And she's incredibly good looking. So I mean there's that, I guess, if you're focused on that in a show. But her actions make her so problematic throughout the entirety of the show. And so, and her character development actually, it didn't hit. Like, it did not do what I expected it would do in comparison to the other actors on the show and the other characters and how they progressed with everything. So, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure with her. She started the entire series out the super smart chick and like BFFs with Quentin, right? And then she took the test to get into break bills after she was transported there, and she didn't get into break bills. And she's like, no, I'm totally a magician, even though she just found out 30 minutes before that she might have magical acumen. And they're like, nope, sorry, we're going to mind wipe you and send you back to the real world. Except she didn't allow them to mind wipe because she has a very strong mind. So, there's that. And instead of going on to she was getting ready to go to Stanford or something for graduate school, she became essentially a magical junkie and spent all of her time trying to learn magic off of the Google. And it was weird, really. And very sad at the beginning, but then she became kind of crazy because she got in with some hedge witches and started doing some really messed up things to her best friend in the entire world, Quentin Coldwater, that really messed with him mentally. And so I had a hard time forgiving her after that because that was really messed up. Let's go pour this thing, I guess. So with this pour, I am doing a version of those ultra thin line horizontal things that we did for the Amy Warden Soap Challenge thing, last year. Yes, which is fun because the soap that I did it with, I knew was going to discolor a whole lot. And so basically I ended up with just a whole bunch of different colors of brown. And so I wanted to show you guys what it looks like with a scent that does not discolor. Now this scent does not, it says it will not discolor, and it smells of, fresh air and pine, and that's cool. And again, it has to be pine because she's like Our Lady Tree or something. And so it's a lovely scent. It's a really good blend. Very strong out of bottle. Interested to see what it does after saponification. But am loving how thin and fluid the batter is for this, because in my experience with tree things, they can accelerate. So not all, but all of the ones that I tend to use. So there's that. They can also discolor, so it's cool that this one doesn't. But yeah, so Julia as a character, if we're going to continue doing the D&D alignment thing, I don't know. She started out pretty dark and doing some pretty sketchy things, but then ultimately she became the epitome of Captain Save-A-Ho. She is just, everything she does is for the good of her friends and the world, and she somehow finds a way to like bring both of those in, so the world and her friends can, so it's not just for the greater good. It's not the needs of the many versus the needs of the few. It's the needs of them all. And she tries to, you know, make that all a thing. Now, with the horizontal lines pour thing here that I'm doing, the little tricky thing is to really work the batter back and forth, multiple passes, basically in the same area, you know, 5-10 times before you start moving your skewer, to really work those colors into each other and, you know, the base layer, which is very, very cool. I had such a fun time the first time I did this pour for the soap challenge, because it was fun to like overwork your batter, because you're always being told, no, don't skewer it too much. It's all going to go gray. And I say the same things in classes and to my children. But then this one is like, no, make it so, do the thing. And so I got to do the thing, which was cool. Yeah, so Julia starts out bad and real bad, and then she becomes real good. I mean, at some point she like horcruxes herself to like save the world, right? Like, that's cool. And so if we're going with the alignment thing, I guess I would call her neutral good. And that's like Penny, right? Or as I used in Penny's, I think. In Penny's, the example would be Harry Potter. Harry Potter's neutral good. I guess I can get behind that. I guess, because that's the only place it makes sense. She's not lawful good because she breaks rules. She's not chaotic because she's actually not chaotic. So that whole entire area is gone. And she's also not evil. But she definitely has a duality to her, because at some point she was pretty evil. But Julia as a person overall, if you take the whole of the parts, you know, all the parts and into a whole, the sum of all the parts, she's good, but not concerned with rules and structure and form, either to abide by them or break them. She just kind of is. And so that kind of makes her neutral. And so, yeah, I guess I would go with neutral good along with Penny, which I guess makes sense because her and Penny are her and Penny. But the duality that I wanted to represent within all of this was these little discs here, like the sort of yin and yang. And so I took these with some micas and sort of painted the inside with some micas before pouring the melt and pour over the top in 2 different colors. So I poured them at the same time from 2 different beakers to fill the little tree mold thing. So there's a green side and a white side, a dark side and a light side, to really represent both of her sides in a lot of ways, because there's also, you know, human versus Our Lady of the Tree side too, which is kind of not human until it was again. You know what? We're not going to spoil things. Okay, yeah, so on to the cut of this. Now, this did get C-popped. I was not worried about those melt and pour discs melting, although I guess I should have been because they're very, very thin. But they didn't, so that's great. And now I don't even actually have to section any of this out to cut, because the discs are going to be my guide to show me where to do the thing. And the scent is good. Less air than pine after saponification, so it definitely smells of trees, but those ozone layers kind of got lost in saponification. So essentially it's a very lovely scent, but it becomes one of those yourself or someone like you type scents. Any tree will do. However, I would go with this tree scent over multiple other ones that I have tested, because so many tree scents that I work with either discolor or accelerate or do both. So this one did neither, and it was a very beautiful pour throughout. So that one was good. I would definitely revisit this one if I wanted a nice outdoor green, you know, scent for sure. So yeah, no, I mean, I guess Julia Yeah, I guess. I guess we're going neutral good for her. And I guess that makes sense. I don't know. She like, there was a point in the series where she like gaslit Quentin in like really weird magical ways. And was not that was not fun. Like, the entire series, the very first episode, starts with Quentin in a mental hospital, right? Like, this guy already has some kind of thing going on, and then she uses magic to sort of make that worse at some point, and I'm like, this is your best friend. You've known him forever. You loved the Fillory books as children with him, and you did the thing. And so I guess I've really never forgiven her for that. But if you look at her and her character as a whole, yeah, I guess neutral good totally makes sense. And these bars are totally perfect and gorgeous. And, I'll pat myself on the back for that one.
And there it is, Julia's bar. And yeah, I actually really loved doing this bar. I like, again, the idea of doing the yin and the yang with the tree on the top of each of those soaps, because she was also, a tree is important in her life, in her story arc, in all of the things. And so, yeah, I did it. And it's green and trees, and it's kind of like that. Yes, for sure. People actually have been asking me about these in the last couple days as we've been doing the Magician's line, and I've been sort of pointing them out. And this is actually, I will link the artist in the description below. It's from an artist that I found on Etsy that makes some really amazing work. Actually, all of our stuff, most of our stuff in here came from Etsy, from, buying from artists that do the art thing. And so that's been cool. I'll link it, down there, all the things for sure. Yeah, so tomorrow is going to be another Magician soap, and I'm very excited to talk about that one for sure. And if you're interested in any of the Magician soaps that we've done up to this point, you can get them once the entire series, all of the videos have been released, and you can find them at soapandplay.com. Yes, if you would like to get anything else there in the meantime, go do the thing. Go check out the Labyrinth series. Go have fun. Yeah. If you're interested in following me on social media, yeah, I'm there. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Cool. If you're interested in seeing what else we do for the Magicians, subscribe. That's all. Just do that. If you are already subscribed, hey, that's actually not all that you just did that. It meant a lot to me, and I'm glad that you clicked that button for sure. I'm out of here for today. I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye.